Plus friends, coming to you after a 2 hour recording of a podcast episode with my really amazing and emotional guest. I cried a lot. But before I ended my day, I wanted to answer two really interesting questions that I got about ego. And I'm so happy that you guys are checking out my stories and engaging with the content. And since ego is one of the reasons why we feel fear, and we feel it quite a bit, and we get stressed, and then we get shame and guilt connected to it all, I really wanted to answer these questions live because it's just such a complex topic. Ego is pretty much at the bottom of how and why we do the things that we do. So let's see, I have my trusted unicorn sticky notes, which I always write things on, and I advise you to also use this healing therapeutic method that gets you to see your thoughts black on white, meaning that the dragon that you thought that you had, that you were carrying in your mind, is just a really cute kitty cat. Never in a million years your thoughts are going to be looking the same when you have a whole new perspective on them, which is on a piece of paper or a sticky note. Now, the first question that I got was, how did I personally do the ego work? And I have got to be honest with you, I did not do it by myself because I am a pretty stubborn person. I was not coachable at all. And even last year, with me having around 4 years into business, into fear studying, I had quite some issues with being coachable, but really deeply coached to the core. And what my spiritual mentor did last year, and I am forever grateful to him, he just did this really powerful exercise where I was mainly put on the pedestal of me really getting 100% into the emotion of me achieving everything that I had wanted to achieve, the fame, the wealth, everything. And it was mostly material. And he basically humbled me through that exercise and just showed me that, hi Wendy, great to see you again, talking about ego, answering some questions for some of my audience that had some really interesting questions about this topic that creates so much fear. And as I got humbled in this exercise, I was put by Glenn, by my spiritual mentor, to see that I am on the verge of losing it all in a minute, of losing my life. And this was so powerful, and it humbled me so much that from that very day, I did not see fear. I did not see myself, my family, everything that I had around me. I did not see it from the same perspective. I was a completely different person, a very grateful person, to understand that we may lose it all in a second. Nothing is 100% there for us the next minute or tomorrow. It's just an illusion, it's an ideal. It was so powerful that I cannot help but I cannot help myself then to recommend that you do something similar, or have a talk with Glenn if you feel like it. But this was not done by myself. Now, since then, I have been able to kind of release the tension that the ego had grasped on me, because stories about fear, step on your fears, it's all connected to fear, me removing the stigma that feeling your emotions is not okay, that having so much shame and guilt around fear should not be happening, because we need to embrace and accept everything that we are going through. So since then, I kind of began to work on questions. And yes, I would advise you, and the name of the person asking the question, and sorry, I dropped the sticky note, Natalie, use those questions without a doubt. Use them several times per day when things are off, because you never have anything coming from the exterior to you. You have all the answers, Natalie. You have everything that you need to have inside of you. You only need those questions that can trigger your emotions to literally look at things from a whole new perspective. When you put the answer down on a piece of paper, that's when your rational mind starts kicking in. And you are able to make those decisions from a conscious point of view. You get rational. You never want to make decisions when you are in an emotional state, because regret happens when we are at the peak of our emotions. You just cannot look at things straight. You cannot think straight. So always answer those questions to yourself and just have them on a piece of paper. And the second question was, where am I on my journey with ego? The thing is that it's 100% not over yet. What we tend to do most of the times is to think that I had a great day today. Everything's in perfect order. I don't need to do anything else. I don't need to work on anything else. No, that's when you need to work more. When you have more energy, focus on doing more. Because here's what's happening. Your mind needs a constant pattern changing that you can only do on a regular basis. So you need to do this daily, just like eating, like washing, like working out. You cannot say that, okay, I fixed a really big issue. And this is the trap, so to say, that I fell in a few years ago when I kind of gotten into my heart brain, and I got to cure my heart condition. And I thought, okay, life's amazing. Yes, life was amazing, but I had more things to work on. It did not stop there. And getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is now one of my mantras, because when you are well and it's cute and warm and fuzzy, it's not a learning process for you. You need to do something that gets you out of the comfort zone into your deepest, most challenging thoughts, because this is the only way to grow. Now, if you are in a time of your life where you simply feel like I need to enjoy the fruits of my labor, that's okay. And I think that we can all appreciate that, because it's a lot of hard work. Personal development is never easy. You always get to have interesting states. I don't want to call them too challenging, because we do have a threshold for pain. In my case, it's a pretty low threshold. Still, I'm working on that. I get myself in uncomfortable situations as much as possible, but it's something that you need to focus on a regular basis. The thing is that when you're not growing, you are going downwards. It's a bit tough to say that you are dying. It's not the case. But emotionally, spiritually, in a way, we are connected to always look for growth. At the same time, we love the comfort and the warmth and the cuteness of the comfort zone, right? So it's such a paradigm. We are having three major brains inside of us. We have the mind, we have the heart brain, and we have the gut. Now, connect them all together, make the best decisions on the spot, be wise with everything that you do, have the perfect image out there on social media, and have the best career, the best family life. Come on. It's not possible, right? It sounds utopic, it sounds good, but I don't want you to strive for this. However, what I would advise you to strive for is to just be happy. And it sounds very mundane, right? You think that being happy is such a general word, but do you really know what makes you happy? Because when you are happy, something happens and you get very much aligned in all of your three brains. So this is what I'm focusing on more nowadays. So what I do these days is I am asking myself the questions that I put in the stories for you guys, and I always advise that you use them no matter what. When you feel challenged, ask yourself these questions. When you are in doubt, maybe should I pursue this option or should I not? Just answer them, put them on a piece of paper, analyze the answers, and you'll be amazed that it gets very clear when you see things from a whole new perspective. So I answer to myself to those questions, and I strive to have a happy state of being. It's not always working for me. There are many challenges along the way, but unless you do something every single day, the smallest step to keep you connected to who you are, what you want to truly achieve in this lifetime, fear will never go away. The only way to remove fear is to act, is to move into action. And it's kind of tough. It's this pretty strong paradigm, again, another paradigm in our system as human beings, because we just want to feel safe, we want to feel loved at the same time, but we know that when we are not growing, we are in this very nice warm state that we simply need to get out of, to just find out more, find out what's underneath all these layers. This talk would go on forever. I am so pumped up after having this unbelievable, teary-eyed, emotional conversation with Wendy. I have cried more than I have talked today during this podcast episode, but this has healed me in some amazing ways. So very grateful to be here sharing my thoughts with you. Before I go, and I lost even the track of my thoughts, which is okay, it sometimes happens after a very, very long day. I encourage you to let me know if you have any questions about the ego, about fears in business, about the situation that you are in with decision making, with moving into action, because once again, you cannot conquer your fear unless you move into action, unless you do those things that you are afraid of. So let me know in the chat, let me know if you have any questions about this topic of the ego and fears, and I'll be very happy to answer it on the spot. Wendy, beautiful face, stopped me in my tracks. You are amazing, Wendy. Thank you so much for being here. I love you so much, and I can't wait to have our episode released. And to everyone watching, my fearless friends, have an amazing day ahead. And again, let me know your questions. And I am so thankful to Natalie and to John for sending these questions over. I am very happy to support you with this. Have a wonderful day ahead, everyone.